thought this painting would take me a week. It did not. There was overthinking, questionable sketches, a small burnout, chip in the middle, and several moments where I just stared at the canvas hoping it would magically tell me what to do next. But somehow it all worked out. I get asked all the time, where do your paintings ideas come from? So today I'm taking you through the entire journey of creating Kashmir inspired artwork from the very first idea to the finished painting. For me, every artwork starts with a vision. It's usually not a complete image. Sometimes it's just a feeling, a color palette, a mood, or one tiny idea that keep living rent free in my head. Then I start looking for references that match that vision. I rarely paint one image exactly as it is. I like taking little bits from different places and bring them together to tell my story. And that's exactly what happened with this painting. This time I actually collaborated with a photographer who was traveling around Kashmir. He captured so many beautiful photographs, and when I saw them, I knew they had everything I was looking for. So we met at a cafe and started going through all the images. Now I thought we'd probably choose 5 or 6 reference images. We did not. Every time I finalize one photo, another would appear, and I'd be like, okay, this is also very important. And then another, and then another. Recently, I changed the way I prepare my canvas. Nothing dramatic, but oh my gosh, the difference. The paints, it's so much better. The surface feels smoother, everything blends so nicely. And I've had so many people ask me, like, does canvas preparation actually matters? And my answer is unfortunately yes. Because once you start doing it properly, you can't pretend you don't know it anymore. So here I'm just blocking in my sketch with really light brown lines. Nothing detailed. Just enough so I know where things are. Because if I make the sketch too detailed, I start overthinking, and trust me, I don't need to unlock any more overthinking. Once the sketch was done, it was finally time to bring some color into this painting. From the beginning, I knew I wanted this artwork to feel like a golden hour in Kashmir. Warm oranges, soft peaches, little hint of purple. Basically, the kind of sunset that makes you stop walking just to stare at the sky. So that's exactly where I started. The thing I was really excited to paint was the fog. I tried using this brush I'd barely used before, and I wasn't expecting much, but oh my gosh, where has this brush been all my life? The way it softly lifts the paint and blends the edges made creating clouds and fog so much easier. It did take me a few tries to figure out the pressure, but once I got the hang of it, I genuinely could not stop using it. Then come the water, which by the way took me forever. Water is one of those things that looks really simple until you actually have to paint it. There is a reflection, shadow, ripples, tiny color changes, and somehow every brushstroke matters. I started by blocking in warm peaches tones and added bluish purple shadows before glazing another layer of over the top. Watching those color mix together was honestly one of my favorite moments in the whole painting. I feel like every artwork teaches me one new thing. Sometimes it's a new technique, sometimes it's a better brush. This boat was inspired by one photograph, and then there was another boat with the flowers, so I absolutely loved that. And so naturally, I stole both the ideas and artistically, I combined them into one. I've also realized I get my best work done in the first half of the day. After lunch, my brain starts to negotiate for the nap. One thing nobody really tells you about being a self employed is how weird it is. When I was in college, I used to think, I can't wait to work for myself. I'll take a random Wednesday off, travel whenever I want. Turns out, No one is stopping me except me, because the moment I take a day off, I'm also thinking about the 10 things waiting for me when I come back. The best part about working for yourself is the freedom, and the hardest part is also the freedom. Everything depends on you, and while genuinely I love what I do, burnout is very real. In the middle of this painting, I hit one of those phases where even looking at the canvas felt exhausting. I kept telling myself, just finish one section, okay, just another hour, and eventually I realized my brain had officially clocked out. So we decided to take a small trip for a few days. No paintings, no deadlines, no guilt. Just good food, new place, letting my brain breathe for a bit. Honestly, it was exactly what I needed. When I came back, I was actually excited to paint again, and I think that's something I've been trying to learn recently. Sometimes taking a break isn't slowing you down. And the funny thing is, I always relearn this thing after hitting a solid burnout phase. Okay, so I was keeping this to do it like later on, but now this is the time when I'm going to do this part because this is like a very highlight area, and I'm also showing my nails because it looks pretty right now. One of my favorite details to paint was the sari, because I don't know what it is, but I always end up adding this desi thing into this, like sari, to my artwork. I just love the moment it brings. It makes the whole scene feel more a little more alive. And while I was painting this, I had the most random content idea for my reel. I really wanted to paint this exact same sari that I'm wearing, and like, imagine I'm sitting here wearing it while also painting it in the artwork. I don't know if it looked cool or I'm just making my life 10 times harder, but I really wanted to try it someday. Let me know if you'd watch. Let me know what your thoughts on this. I think it would be a really nice aesthetic reel. I definitely have to try this now. The view was already coming together so beautifully, but then it was time to paint the rug. Now, this was the part I was most skeptical about because I really wanted to include the beautiful Kashmiri style rug, but I was also very worried it would take away from the landscape. I didn't want it to feel too busy or distracted from the view. I actually sat there for a while debating whether should I even add it or not, but I was like, okay, let's just trust the process. Worst case, I'll paint over it. And honestly, I'm so glad I went for it. The rug ended up adding so much warmth and character to the painting, and it somehow tied everything together way better than I expected. Sometimes the things you are most unsure about end up becoming your favorite part. The very last step was adding the golden leaf to the edge of the rug. This is honestly one of those steps that look super fancy, but mostly it's just waiting. First, I applied the adhesive and let it sit for 15 minutes. Then I carefully laid down the golden leaf. This part is always so satisfying because the second it catches the light, the whole painting changes. It's not loud, it's just this tiny little detail that adds so much warmth and richness. Definitely one of my favorite finishing touches. And finally, here she is, the finished artwork. Looking at it now, it's funny because throughout this whole process, there were so many moments where I genuinely thought, is this actually going to work? The composition, the rug, the color, the flowers, and at some point, I questioned almost everything, but I guess that's just what creating something looks like. Honestly, even the making of this video took me forever, and this painting actually found its new home just 4 days after the launch, which is honestly still feels so unreal. I'm so happy it found someone who connected with it because this one definitely took me on a journey. If you watched this video till the end, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.